Right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wealth Wednesday, everybody. Let's go. I hope everyone is doing incredible. So the topic today is going to be around self-discipline. And I'm going to be touching on a couple of key points in terms of self-discipline. And it's going to be, around why do most people not have self-discipline, and how do you begin to instantaneously start developing this habit? I'm talking about how do you start developing this habit right now, today, simply by changing your state of mind, right? And then I'm going to additionally talk about, how does self-discipline, how does that impact all areas of your life, right? How does self-discipline relate to all areas of your life, and how essential is this to develop this habit? And then number 3, I'm going to be talking about, how important is self-discipline in your secret sauce, right? How does that relate to your secret sauce, and how does that going to really serve you in the long run? All right, so my name is Michael Music, and let's get right into it. Okay, so self-discipline, right? A lot of people, it's pretty evident, right? A lot of people understand, yes, I need to be disciplined. I need that discipline factor. But they don't even truly know what discipline is, right? I'm going to give you the definition of discipline, right? The definition of discipline is the ability to give yourself a command and follow through with it, right? The ability to give yourself a command and follow through with it. And why is this super important, right? Because if you tell other people that you're going to do this, that you're going to do that, but you never follow through with it, then what good is your word? Right, there's this one great book. It was called The 4 Agreements, and one of the agreements was becoming impeccable with your word, right? And how do you expect to begin to trust yourself, to have confidence in yourself, if every time that you say you're going to do something, you don't follow through with your word, right? That's where the lack of self-discipline comes in, right? It affects all areas of your life, right? Because if you don't follow through with your word, if you don't follow through with what you say to yourself that you're going to do, right, you start to lose that faith in yourself. You start to lose that confidence in yourself. And what good is that, right? Because, at the end of the day, what you want, it's really not that far away, right? It's not that far away. And the only thing that you really are lacking, right, it's not education, right? College does not teach you anything on how to get to your goal, right? You're not missing any education. What you're missing is that self-confidence, right? And that self-confidence really comes from following through on your word, right? When you can believe in yourself and you have that confidence in yourself, right, that's when things start to change, and all of a sudden, right, doors start opening up for you, new opportunities start appearing, because I am more than capable of taking on this opportunity, and I can absolutely advance here. Okay, so that's why self-discipline is so important. And now let's get into the conversation, right? Why do most people lack self-discipline? Well, it all comes back to that one phrase that I'm going to keep saying, and that is that they lack a definiteness of purpose, right? They simply, it's pretty simple. If you don't have a reason to be disciplined, then what's the point? But you're not going to be disciplined if you don't have a definite major purpose to be disciplined in, right? If you're just operating habitually throughout each day, what's the point of being disciplined, right? There is no point, right? So most people are lacking that first and most important part of the equation, and that is the starting point of all individual achievement, is having a definite major purpose. Right? Your definite major purpose is a state of mind. It is a state of mind that you carry with you every single day. Right? And I'm not saying that you need to absolutely change the world, right? It's not like your purpose has to be that. But I am saying that every day that you wake up, you need to start moving in the matter of definiteness. You need to start moving in the matter of intention. Right? Every one of your thoughts, every one of your actions need to have a definite reason behind them. Right? And that's going to give you the self-discipline. When you have that purpose, and you keep planting that purpose in your mind, and you eventually start believing that purpose, right? That's where the self-discipline will show up. Right? Being self-disciplined is hard until, right? That's Jim Rohn's favorite word, until. Right? Being disciplined isn't that hard once you get it down. Once you start establishing the habit of being disciplined, it starts becoming second nature to you. Right? And that's one thing that I really love about the military. Right? I personally don't ever plan on being a part of the military, but I actually still love to this day reading all the books on Navy SEALs. And especially, right, the habits that they install in the people in the military. It's the simple habits like making your bed, waking up at 6 a.m., waking up at 5 a.m., right? Getting up, working out, exercising, right? It's installing these simple habits that change everything, right? These self-discipline habits. Because I'll tell you what, it's the little things that add up to the big things, right? The fact that you wake up when your alarm wakes up and that you don't sleep in, right? That little discipline, the discipline of you doing that, right, that starts getting you the momentum for the day, right? The discipline for you to wake up, make your bed, make your room, and start getting the ball rolling, those little disciplines are going to help you in the long run, right? Don't get too big for the little things, right? It all comes down to self-discipline, and that's, you know, what I'm saying with the Navy SEALs, right? I absolutely suggest that you start studying the biographies of Navy SEALs, right? Read David Goggins, read Dan Bilzerian even in the Navy SEALs, right? They have incredible stories, and it's these stories that can really start changing your perspective, right? Because you think that you're disciplined until you realize, damn, there's really levels to this. I am not nearly as disciplined as some of these guys, and there is so much room for improvement. Okay? So that was self-discipline. Why do people lack self-discipline? It's because they don't have their definite major purpose. Now the second area, right? How does self-discipline, I'm kind of getting into this already, but how does self-discipline lead to all areas of your life? Right? This is essential. It's not only about business and finance and money. Right? Self-discipline to not allow yourself to stoop to other people's levels of negative thinking. Right, the self-discipline to say no. Because you want to know something, the main thing that is holding many people back from achieving massive success is that they lack the self-discipline to begin saying no. No, I don't want to go to the bar with you. No, I don't want to drink this weekend. No, I don't want to waste my time doing this mindless activity with you. No, I don't want to watch that movie. Right? They lack the self-discipline to say no and focus on their goal. Well, you gotta start, you know, that habit alone is going to save you so much more time. Because you might be wondering, why do I not have enough time? Because you've simply lacked the self-discipline to focus on what actually matters. Right, your energy is all around, right? You're multitasking, you're trying to make these people, like, please these people by texting them back, hanging out with them. Right? Because you're addicted to their approval. You think, oh man, maybe they won't text me back if I say no. No, you got to be disciplined. You got to have a definite major purpose and be disciplined, because the ability to say no is going to free up so much of your time. You got to realize you have time on your side. It's either working for you or against you. Right? If you're not using your time wisely, then you're screwing yourself. Right? So you start developing that self-discipline to start freeing up your schedule and really focus your schedule on your goals. Right? It requires self-discipline to be that definitive on what you truly want. Okay? And then additionally, right, we're talking about hour by hour basis, right? A lot of people, you know, I'm assuming out there, right, they think they don't have enough time during the day, right? Maybe they're working a 9-to-5 job. Look, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm working the 9-to-5, operating a business, building my brand on social media, right? It's not like I have more time than you, right? We both have the same 24 hours in a day. It requires self-discipline to do the little things, at the right things, right? Wallace C. Waddle says it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way, right? It's that self-discipline to commit and do what you gotta do. Do what actually is gonna get you the results, right? It's not hard work, it's just results-driven work. Right, so what do you got to start doing today? What is that habit that you need to start establishing today? Because I'll tell you what, the successful people, the only difference between them and you, besides their thinking, is that they have more successful habits than you. I can tell somebody, right? I can look at somebody that's in shape until that they have a ritual of going to the gym, right? They have the habit of going to the gym. And I can look at somebody that is fat as fuck, and I can tell that they have the habit of eating Cheetos and staying on the couch. Right? I can tell by their habits. I can tell what their habits are just by looking at them. Right? And it comes down to that self-discipline, right? If you want better results, you better discipline yourself. Maybe I should start going to the gym consistently. Maybe I should start working out. Right? It's not that hard to get a six-pack. It's not that hard to get abs. All you got to do is condition yourself, discipline yourself to do 125 crunches every single day, 6 days a week. I guarantee you in 3 months, you'll have a six-pack. It's not that hard. They make it like this rocket science experiment. Right? But it comes down to that one thing, right? The thing that is hard is developing that self-discipline, being consistent with it until it becomes a habit, right? Do the thing. Bob Proctor says, do the thing until you don't have to do the thing, right? Once it becomes unconscious in you, doing the right things, doing the things in a certain way, right? Life is going to open up to you. All right, so that's self-discipline, and that was just one area of your life that it works out, right? It's going to work out in everything, right? I talked a little bit about fitness and how self-discipline is so important, right? If you actually want the fitness level that you want, but even more so, right? Just having the peace of mind, you got to understand, peace of mind comes at a price, right? It's not free, right? The peace of mind that you want does not come free. You have to discipline yourself. I'm not going to focus on the negative in this situation. I'm going to be disciplined enough to focus on the positives. Right? And as little as that seems, that is a serious discipline. To only focus on what went well, even if you experience temporary defeat, the discipline to focus on, okay, what did I at least learn from this? Because Napoleon Hill says that every single failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. Every single failure brings with it the seed of the equivalent success. The question is, are you disciplined enough to look for it? Are you disciplined enough to find what you need to find in terms of the lesson? Because most people are too focused. They don't have the discipline. They're only focused towards the negative. Oh man, this didn't work out for me. I tried entrepreneurship. It didn't work out for me. I should just give up. Right? They don't have the discipline, the mental toughness in them to be like, no, I know that there are people that have results in this field, that it works. Right? I just got to find that way. I got to find that certain way. Right? And that requires self-discipline. Right? I'm telling you, you start changing your habits, all of a sudden, your entire life is going to change. I'm telling you, that state of mind. And you're not going to ever follow through on anything that I'm saying until you finally establish, what is my definite purpose? What is the purpose for me wanting to get better? What is the purpose for me wanting to work on my habits? Right? That comes first. That comes first. Then the self-discipline will follow. When you find your purpose, the self-discipline will follow. Because you'll need to get disciplined. You'll have no other option. It's like, this is what I'm doing. This is my purpose. This is my goal. This is what I'm going after. I better get fucking disciplined or else I'm screwed. And what's going to happen, right? You have two options. You can either, say, oh, it's not going to work for me, blah, 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 negative self-talk. Or you can be like, no, I know that I am capable of developing the discipline. Even if it's a little habit at a time, right? You don't want to work on 5 habits today. 5 new habits today. That's not going to last. You want to work on 1 habit today, install it in you until that habit is unconscious, and then start developing another successful habit. Right? 1 at a time. There's this principle of Kaizen. It says, I want to get better 0.1% better every single day. 0.1% better. That is so small, yet so significant if you can do that over the long run. If you have the discipline to stay consistent over the long run, right? You'll realize, the compound effect. In a matter of 10 days, you'll be 1% better. In a matter of 100 days, you'll be 10% better than everyone else that is not getting better. And I know that seems small, but you gotta do you realize how much 10% better than everyone else really is? In a matter of 3 years, that's 1,000 days. You're basically 100% better, right? Imagine in the next 3 years, you can be 100% better than your opponents. I hope I'm getting the math right, but understand, right? If that math is right, but you're basically doubling your opponents every 3 years just by getting 0.1% better. That is significant. That is absolutely significant. And that is how certain individuals are able to go right to the top, while other individuals are stuck at the bottom. So, that was number 2, right? Self-discipline. Now, number 3. How does self-discipline relate to your secret sauce? Well, your secret sauce is essential here. And how are you going to develop the discipline to do something that you don't truly believe in, don't have a purpose for, don't have a direction that you're going? Right? I'm not going to develop the discipline to fold the laundry and all this mundane task if that's not my purpose. Right? You gotta find out, what is my secret sauce? And there's many different components to the secret sauce, but it's more specifically for you, right? What do I do well? What are my top values? What have I done in the past that just came naturally to me, right? That came more naturally than other things, right? What do I do well? And how do you double down on your advantages, right? Because that's gonna make the biggest difference. When you double down on your secret sauce, when you double down on your advantages, right, that is going to help you propel in that one area, right? Because I'm not trying to be a jack of all trades, right? The jack of all trades, what's that saying? The jack of all trades gets nothing in the end, right? It's that one person that can focus on that one niche, that one simple thing, have the discipline to absolutely master that craft that becomes outstanding in that field. It was that one book, Outliers, right? It requires 10,000 hours for you to become an absolute expert in something, right? So what is that one thing? What is that one thing that you want, that you are willing to put 10,000 hours into? Is it public speaking? Is it branding yourself? Is it your business? Is it your family, right? Is it your health? What is that? What is it? And yes, I understand, right? There's a few things that may have overlapped. But what I'm saying is, right, what is it that you are willing to discipline yourself to be like, no, I got to look at life from the long run. And I got to absolutely, take this approach day by day, but have the vision of 10 years from now. Right? That's going to make all the difference. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I talked about a couple of things today, specifically around self-discipline. I talked about, why do most people not have self-discipline? And how can you start immediately, right now, developing self-discipline, right? I'll tell you it again. It starts with a definite major purpose. That's the starting point. You don't have self-discipline because you don't have a purpose or a reason to be disciplined. Or you don't have a goal yet. But you establish the purpose, you get definite about it, the self-discipline will follow. Okay, and then I additionally talked about, how does self-discipline relate to all areas of your life? And how does it also relate to, how does it impact, all areas of your life? And how does it relate to your secret sauce, right? What is the reason to be self-disciplined, especially when it comes to your secret sauce? So, I want to thank you all for tuning in live today. And I will be wrapping this up now. I'll see you all soon enough. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Until we meet again in time and space. Bye, everybody, for now.